Start the recording now. Perfect. Thank you, Lori. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the Clallam County EDC Coffee with Colleen chat. Today, Colleen is feeling a little bit under the weather, so I'm going to be running the chat. But we're fortunate to have the CEO and owner of the Hub, Roxanne, join us today. She, like I said, is not only the owner, but the CEO, runs the Hub day to day here in Port Angeles. And without further ado, I really just wanted her to kick off, tell us what the Hub's got going on, what's the hubbub with the Hub. But just a couple of housekeeping items before we start. If you could keep yourself on mute for the remainder of the Zoom call, unless you have a question, that'd be great. Just avoids any inadvertent background noise. And then after the recording is finished, we'll be uploading it to our website, clallam.org. Besides that, go ahead and kick it off, Roxanne. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Mitch, via Colleen or whichever way it goes. I'm glad to be here and I'm glad to share what the Hub is and what we're doing. So kind of like he said, what's the hubbub with the Hub? And we are going to go through what is the Hub, how the Hub connects local organizations, incubates businesses, and tests creative ideas, and what we've done so far and where we're headed next. So before we get into the Hub, most likely you kind of want to know who I am. So I, like he said, am the owner CEO, but mostly what I am is a facilitator for it. This was an idea sparked by Port Angeles, and I've just helped kind of carry it to fruition. Um, my husband and I moved out here last year. We're both engineers. I have a degree in industrial systems engineering, which really just means I do a lot of like systems work or optimization or processes. Um, I also have a master's in instructional design. So that also means I can kind of help people teach. I can help break things down into bite-sized pieces, which is really helpful if you're trying a new business. Um, although I have one engineering side, I definitely have an artistic side as well. So kind of a nice half and half, we'll call it.
Both sides of the brain.
I've sides of the brain working
Yeah.
over here. Makes for great problem solving.
Yep.
Um, so I have 15 years in nonprofits. The last 10 years, I've been working in my own consulting firm for small business solutions. Really, my specialty is unsticking people. If you have kind of a hard hurdle or you don't really know what to do next, that's where, it doesn't really matter what the field is, the process for attacking it is the same. The last 5 years I have spent in the Pacific Northwest and have absolutely fallen in love with it. And that includes the last year in PA, which I just, love this area. So that's a little bit about me. Um, so what's the Hub? If you aren't familiar with the Hub, because you're in a different part of the county, we are the old Matthews Glass building. So right as you enter into downtown Port Angeles on Front and Lincoln, that is the space that we took over and did actually a adaptive reuse for the building. Transformed it into a all ages make, work, and play space. It's a third place. And if you're unfamiliar with what a third place is, your first place is your home. Your second place is your work or school. Third place is like neutral territory. And these are so crucial for building communities. This is where people share ideas. This is where they meet up and have, enrichment happening. And these are so important to actually making, communities happier and really bringing communities together. So for the general public, it's a place to see like music, maybe attend a workshop, play some games with some friend family, work in an inspiring space, and witness the messy creative process. For our members, it's a testing ground for new ideas and business ventures. It's a network of doers who may have that solution to that tricky bit that you're working on. And it's a safe place to just be yourself. We are a resource for the community, a hub, you might say, trying to connecting the dots to get the projects and ideas off the ground. Um, and so in the background, you kind of saw different amalgamations of the hub. We're a very dynamic space and are intended to be such. We are a multi-purpose incubator and facilitator for innovative ideas, businesses, and events. So what is, sorry, working on the slide. There we go. Um, in addition to the hub itself, there are other businesses that operate inside the hub. The first of which is our creative director, Todd Fisher. He is expanding his artistic field into industrial design. You may know his works or seen his works on a bus. We'll just say his whimsical watercoloring. But did you know he makes tables and they're featured in Field Hall and Mighty Pine Wood Brewery? Or his reclaimed fiberglass lamps that you can actually see in our windows, or his graphic work for wine labels, racing events, and Hurricane Ridge. He's got a kind of multifaceted talent going on. Um, in addition to Todd, we have 123 West Design Collective, an architectural engineering and design services group led by my husband, Kyle Zimmerman. Their portfolio ranges from airport systems to housing infill to the upcoming 4PA Touchstone campus. So they have a whole collective of engineers. Some of them are professional engineers who can stamp plans. Some of them are more architectural design based, and some are actually really great at modeling. Um, they also research sustainable building materials. Did you know that mushroom insulation is a thing? Because until moving here, I did not. And so they're doing work on that, and they gladly host presentations and workshops to share what they've learned. And starting this month, I'm very excited to welcome Brady Black, an international muralist who is passionate about creating collaborative community murals for all to enjoy. So you can participate in making it and painting it and running like workshops to really kind of, get some ownership in that art for you. So stay tuned for more exciting details as a PA now has this resource at its disposal. So in addition to the businesses to that and the hub to support, sorry, let's try all that again. In addition, these businesses and the hub support our resident artists. We had our first cohort designed by nature begin in June, and they will conclude in December. These artists have dedicated studio space, an opportunity to sell in our retail space, and participating in monthly design challenge, which hopes to spark new ideas and expand on their skills either in design through working with Todd or in business consulting, trying to get their business off the ground, including websites, filing for LLC paperwork through me. The inaugural cohort had their first art show at the hub in September, and you can view it online. We have a 3D tour of it, so you can actually walk the whole space. If you have VR goggles, I highly encourage you to use it. If not, you can just kind of click through and navigate with your mouse. We look forward to future cohorts and providing ongoing support to our graduates. These folks were really fantastic. Beilu is a painter that has now just fully blossomed, is even now going to be attending Peninsula College in their art program. Izzy tested many workshops, including dancing ones and writing workshops. Larry White is a familiar face in the area and has a lot of his art up in the Rail and in Bar Hop. And Will is a metal worker who works at Angelus Machine Works. And he's really coming into his artistic self outside of his fabricating self. And it was a nice kind of pairing between him and Belu because they've kind of inspired each other, which is really great when you have different mediums. You can actually get new ideas that you didn't think of before. Alrighty. So now that you know a little bit more about the hub, which may or may not be more confusing than it was initially, how does the hub work? So if you've been down to the space, we are so much more than a retail shop. We have a full workshop, a CNC machine, a performance stage with lighting and sound, a podcast room, and so much more. You can buy a day pass, $10 for adults, $8 for children and seniors 65 and older. This gets you access to the entertainment bay where you can play video and board games, practice on house instruments, including a drum kit and piano, read a selection of design books, work on your latest art piece, or maybe challenge your buddy to a game of shuffleboard. In addition, this all gets you access to our nightly events, including movies, live music, speaker series, game nights, and it's a fun time. If you become a member, you will get all of that access. And then, in my opinion, you really get the goodie. You can utilize our experimental model to help you get your ideas off the ground. We'll work with you to co-promote your event or workshop, along with giving you the space to try it out. New ventures can definitely be intimidating, and the hub is here to walk alongside you, to be a resource, to keep it moving for you. And with so many talented members and employees, we likely can connect you to tools and resources that would benefit your program. Lastly, the hub can be booked for your private event. And yes, there are the traditional holiday parties, graduations, birthdays, and anniversaries, which we enjoy. And we've already had several here at the hub in the first 5 months we've been open. But we're more interested in community building events like career fairs, maybe showcases of new products, new technology, maybe a culmination of all of the work a particular class has done, as well as corporate events like work retreats or artistic team building and customer appreciation items. In fact, we do a lot of strategic planning here at the hub. And if you become a business partner, you actually get free consultation sessions from Juan Choi, a gifted strategy consultant. So some of our early successes. As a reminder, we have been open since May 31st during the Juan de Fuca Festival this past year. And in that time frame, which is now, as of today, 5 months, we've seen more than 2,000 people through our front doors. We are extremely proud of this fact because that is what we're here for. We're here to actually bring people together, to breathe more life into downtown, to transform vacant buildings into a vibrant space. And to, as my team very well knows, I say the phrase, it's not pie, it's so we really want to promote collaboration because there really isn't competition. It's not a finite thing. Pie is, finite, and if I have more, then you don't get any. It's stew. It's where we bring all of our, excitements, all of our talents together, and we actually build something that is, um, sorry, that is, really impactful. And stew tastes better when you put more and more ingredients in, and you can just add water and have more of it. It's not finite, it's infinite. Um, The hub has already seen 20 musical acts and 5 artists ranging from, and 5 artist workshops ranging from dance to writing. Over 100 professional pieces of art have been made inside our building in the last 4 months or 5 months. And it's a very productive art space. We've collaborated with 10 other organizations on projects and have donated more than $10,000 in doing pro bono work for the community along design and technology services. What fuels this organization is its members. Our members are the people who are here to participate and get involved in our community. And Port Angeles is really special for that. There are so many people who are just willing to come in and help and do and, just keep the ball moving. And it's so wonderful to be here. Thank you. If there are any members on the call, I wouldn't be surprised. Every dollar spent at the hub goes directly back into this community through our design services, our public art, other inventions, and importantly, our space to be your most creative self. I can list some of the organizations we've collaborated with, but I will tell you it is now getting quite long. um,
That's great.
so,
That's what you want.
yeah, so where can
Yeah.
the hub take you? So kind of like Stu, it is infinite, so we can take you to infinity and beyond. All right, yeah, I'm sorry, it was corny, but I had to go for it. Um, we are your creative partner, a dynamic space to test things out, and a design and technology resource. We have top-notch engineers, architects, and artists who are able and motivated to help Port Angeles reach its full potential. We are the stepping stone to help you accomplish your biggest ideas. And we're pretty fun to work with, I would like to say. Um, So I will say that is, where my presentation kind of wraps up. Wanted to make sure that if you didn't already know where we are, we're located at 117 North Lincoln Street. You can find us on the web at www.thehub.art. Just want to make sure everybody heard that. It's art, A-R-T, not .com, not .org. It's art. And you can see our phone number on the screen. Um, if you do QR codes, that one will link you right to our website. Um, so
Wow, that
I
was
will
great. Thank you. I
I will
appreciate it.
now open it up, and I'll just leave this slide because I'm sure this is where the most questions are going to be. And all I can tell you is the hub is best experienced. It's going to be many different things to many people. And so the best way to find out what it is to just come down. All right, with
Absolutely.
that, Mitch, I hand it over.
Great. So if ever, anyone has any questions, feel free to raise their hand or put them in the chat and I can read them. Right off the bat, I had a question. I mean, just from passing by the hub, you can see that the building has received a major facelift. Can you tell us just some of the key renovations that have been done inside and out?
Absolutely. So yes, just to be explicit, the renovations were all done by our team. So that would be Kyle Zimmerman, Katie Lee, Todd Fisher, myself, and a few other community members. So if you see it here, it is probably done by us. And when it couldn't be done by us, because let's just say roofs should be done by a professional, and drywall is definitely more of a artistic skill that I do not possess. They were hired locally on the peninsula.
Good.
So yeah, we have a brand new roof. We did a lot of interior work as well. So we took down some false walls and actually revealed some beautiful brick that's original to the building, which we didn't know. And anything that we actually like took out at the building, we are actually using to reuse into other things. So there was a lot of work on that, a lot of pressure washing. I will say there is an advertisement inside the building that if you like the one on the exterior of the building, there is another sign inside. You'll have to come and see it to figure it out. And we also found some interesting pieces of history while we were here. We found a car door for the U.S. Corps of Engineers, or it is like that. It actually predates the Army Corps of Engineers. Um, so yeah, top to bottom, new paint, new electrical, not all of it, just parts of it for electrical, parts of it for plumbing. Um, we now have two bathrooms, so it's not just one scary bathroom. um, but yeah, it's been a really great space. It's
That's
really brought a
awesome.
lot of joy, I think, in the process.
Do you have any mushroom installation installed?
Um, Installed? No. There's still so much testing that has to happen on it. But yes, we have several samples, and it's an interesting process and so fascinating.
I wanted to make sure I heard you right. You said mushroom installation. That's pretty
It is
cool. Is it
much
certain types or certain species of mushrooms, or is it all kind of experimental right now?
there are actually several like larger companies like moving forward with this. Um, but yes, we have experimented with oyster mushrooms and different mediums to grow it in because essentially insulation, the one of the best parts about it is you just need air pockets. Um, Air pockets are how you get that increased R value or that increased thermal value. So yeah, it's a fascinating process. I encourage you to come down. You can try it yourself. In addition to mushroom insulation, we've also done seaweed fabric. That's also fantastic. Um, and can be made to whatever thickness or size that you need. Um, and we've done some interesting things with wool as well as Kyle did another one, and I'm trying to recall. Oh, he's working with a local here on some stucco um, applications, trying to build with all the materials that we have right here on the peninsula.
Great. Steven had a question. He asked, just out of curiosity, how many members of kids, adults slash families belong to the Hub Club? Is membership growing meaningfully each month?
So yes, as no one is surprised here, we are a new business, so everything is growing. We are trying to get to 100 members. Said before the end of October, but I knew that was aspirational. Let's get it to the end of the year. Um, but yes, we have reoccurring members, probably around 20, 25. And then we have monthly members who only just buy a single month, and we probably have 10 to 15 of those. And usually they start with that 1 month and they're like, oh, yeah, I actually do use it. I am having fun. Like they are helping me out with these things. And then they transition to a reoccurring one. Um, but yeah, we would love to see it grow. At 100, that takes all of the burden, we'll call it the heartburn, out of the situation of being a new business. At 200 members, we would be able to do so much for the community. And that would be a nice goal to get to, but I know that businesses take time and we have patience. Um, so yeah, and as far as the range, we have a few children membership. Mostly it's adult memberships. Um, I am, trying to get the seniors out here because I think that they would really benefit from the space as well. As a third place, it's one of the things that third places, and if you haven't researched third places, they're really fantastic. They really help with isolation and the loneliness feeling. Um, and so I know that, there is a senior center and, I'm chatting with them, but this is another place that it's more intergenerational. And so that helps a lot more.
Great. Dr. Maxwell, you have a question?
Yeah, just mostly just a comment. I just want to say it's really I really enjoy this because I've been very curious about what it's all about. So this has answered all my questions, or at least most of them. But I think it's just a really cool idea, Roxanne. I mean, I'm really excited for the community to have something like this here, and I think it's the right thing at the right time. And I hope it is successful because it's something we really do need. And I think this, you might have alluded to the answer to my question. That was the funding is really solely on the revenues from memberships, right? There's not any other revenue source for supporting your business besides membership. Is that right, or do you have other ventures that support it?
As far as other ventures, no, we are not a nonprofit. We're too new to have, I will say, venture capitalists, and we grants take a very long time, and we move at pretty much warp speed. It's probably one of our benefits, and also one of the more painful things, right? But in addition to memberships aren't our only source of income for the hub. So businesses that actually, operate out of here pay us like a rent, we'll call it. We also have artist residents. They pay, again, a fee for essentially dedicated studio space and the extra like knowledge that they're getting and resources they're getting access to, as well as we have a retail space where we do take a percentage, but to be honest, it's a really low percentage. I'm not here to make money off of artists. That's just not who I am. You can also rent the hub. And so these are ways that, if you're having an event, yeah, we'd love for you to have it here. Again, it's a pretty fun and cool looking space. And lastly, you can hire our services. So again, any of the businesses that are in here, you can hire or commission our services. But as of right now, that is how we're operating.
That's great. Yeah, thanks. Really interesting, and very excited for you. And community, I wish you luck. You'll be
Yeah,
having
well,
one more visitor, I can tell you. Yeah.
excellent. Yeah, and that's what it is. Like, we're here for the community. And if you really believe in the hub, then I encourage you to become a member, because that is a way to ensure that we are here, that we can keep doing this amazing work. And really just, you know, sparking new ideas. That's just the best part.
Great. So John mentioned that he missed the QR code that may come back through on the
Sure,
slideshow.
John, it's coming.
It's coming. There it is. And then John also asked if there's any differences when a nonprofit wants to use your help. I'm assuming versus a for-profit company. Is there any differences basically? I mean,
Look, I am always going to try to meet people where they are. That is a core value of mine. Um, I don't believe in hoarding resources or knowledge. So we will make it work. But yeah, at the end of the day, we are still a new business. So if we can't, I will try to always find a business partner to help subsidize, I will say.
great.
So
So reach out to you regardless. I mean, see what we could do.
always.
Right. Lori put the link to your website in the chat, so everybody go check that out. She also outlined the membership costs. Had another comment from Krager J. Sounds like thanks for hosting, Mitch, and thanks for the info, Roxanne. I'm in a band. Cool already. I'm in a band that had a fun night at the hub. We tried a unique approach to a live show, and I want to encourage folks to, as Roxanne says, experience the hub. It was such a varied, wide breadth of ideas, experiences that you just need to meet with your team and discuss your ideas and concepts. Check them out. They're great, supportive, a great collaborative, supportive group in this third space. So there's that third space terminology coming up again. Honestly, I hadn't heard of that previously. So really cool.
Yeah,
Stephen, oh, go ahead.
third places are a social determinant factor of health. So they actually are something to be on the lookout for, and there's more research being done on them to actually, verify that when you have more places for people to share and connect, communities do thrive more.
Great. Stephen had a question comment. He said the experts at the hub seem like a great resource to help people or help with PA's revitalization and economic development. can you give us some examples of businesses or projects that you are or have worked with outside the hub? I think everyone from a small business owner to major projects could benefit. Please help us with Lincoln School, affordable housing, downtown revitalization, etc. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, let's unpack that. Um, so Lincoln School, I can let you know that 123 West has actually done a 3D scan of the building. Um, so this involves taking a LiDAR camera out there and actually scanning the entire thing. So you can actually walk through the Lincoln School virtually right now. And the reason why that's really important is that with that technology, you can also put it into Revit models and you're able to actually kind of determine how many bricks are there. If it is going to be demolished, how many things can actually be pulled out and reused. Um, and so, that's just an interesting way that we've come and helped. Because otherwise, you know, we still don't know the future, but I will say it is going to be very spendy to try to restore it, as unfortunately it's got a lot of issues. Um, so other businesses that we're working with, I guess the first one that pops into mind isn't even a singular business. It was just one of these wonderful ideas that sprang out of the hub. I was meeting with Shay Lee, the owner of Goodness Tea, because at the hub we do try to promote local food and bev. And Shay Lee was talking about how it was so difficult to get her 22-ounce amber bottles to the peninsula. And she, along with Dave from Minister Brewing, bottle here. So I was like, oh, well, you already accept returned ones, right? And she's like, yeah, but the issue is like I don't have a central location, and if we get them, they're usually kind of funky, we'll say, because they haven't been washed immediately. And so I was like, oh, well, yeah, we can do that. Um, so I will actually proposing to the Center for Inclusion in Entrepreneurship for I'm part of the cohort right now, and we'll be presenting for funding for a bottle reuse program. So I know our glass recycling has fallen by the wayside, and that is sad. But if I'm being honest, reuse is so much better than recycling. So reusing the same bottles that are already here on the peninsula, we'll collect them. We will, set up a sink to essentially, spray them out. They already have to, the bottlers already have to sanitize them before they even use them. So really we are just a pre-wash, so that flies don't get into it and whatnot. And so we started talking about it with those two, and now I've also reached out to Levi with Angelus Brewing Company, as well as Doug from Mighty Pine, and all of them seem on board. And so it started with 22-ounce bottles, and that's what we're really going to push initially. But we are now also going to be considering the 12-ounce brown twist top ones, which is the most prevalent bottle in our area. And all that's needed for that is a new die for their bottling machine. And so anyone could then help do this and keep all of these resources on the peninsula. So it creates a new business that, hey, I will just let you know, for the long haul, the hub does not want to be a glass reuse facility. Anybody on the call who wants to open up a new business, we will test it for you. We just don't want to run it forever. um, so it creates, a new business, new jobs, and honestly, a new market on our peninsula. And all of it stemmed from a conversation of Shaylee saying that she had a problem. And I was like, oh, well, we can do this.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
James commented, one of the spaces that is missing in our community where where can retired folks I think he's trying to say where retired folks can share their world of knowledge and experience with others.
Uh, member.
Is
Yes,
he,
I will.
is he a member?
It
Nice.
said become a member, become a member. Like
Oh,
that is
okay.
the part that gets us so excited. Yes, the few I will call it, senior members that we have are sharing their knowledge. It's amazing to witness. And we also have speaker series. So, it would be really great if you wanted to share your expertise on XYZ. Um, yeah, come on down, join the hub, let's go.
Join the hub. All right. Pat asked, at an event, do you allow beverages inside or provide them? Drinks, I saw food. And then another comment, wine bottles? Question mark.
Also wine bottles with the reuse thing. Yeah, we're going to try to turn them into tumblers and have our artists make art on it. Anyways, just,
Cool.
those ideas. So we do sell limited beverages and snacks. I will say they're all non-alcoholic. We do welcome outside food and drink as long as it's not alcoholic. You can bring it in. I encourage you to come here and eat and play games. Okay, that just seems really awesome to me. Um, we can for special events have vendors come in, and so like Levi has come and been a beer vendor for us. We've also had like one of the other businesses, like the charcuterie business, coming into our space and like providing that as well. But in general, we just have, I'm going to say, very limited snacks and some fizzy water and some sparkling teas.
For events, though, you allow
Oh,
people to come in, bring
sorry. Yes,
alcohol,
for
food.
events, if you are renting out the hub, there are strict rules in that around alcohol, I will just say in particular. But if you are renting the hub out for your event and it is let's just say a birthday or an anniversary party, and it's essentially an event that you would have had at your house, but you need a bigger space, uh yes, you can bring all the alcohol you would like, you can bring all the food you would like. You can't sell it, you can't advertise it, but these are the rules that you can definitely do.
Got it.
And we don't charge a fee for any of that is included in your rental.
Great. No cork fee. Got it.
Yeah, or like birthday cake fee. Someone asked me if I had a birthday cake fee, and I just was astounded. I was like, I'm sorry, no.
On my birthday? Come on. Yeah. No. All right. Great. Any other questions from the audience? Well, I think it'd be about time for you to give one more plug. What events do you have coming up? Anything fun in the pipeline?
Oh, you're so great, Mitch. So yes, we will be participating in Halloween as well. So if you have littles, come on down 2 to 5 in the downtown area. We will also be having Big Al's Boozeless Jam Night, same night. So he'll be playing live music. We'll have the projector going with the how-to videos of how to do, let's just say, the Monster Mash, Thriller, Wednesday from the new series, her very special dance as well. So it should be a fun time. Also in the pipeline, we're working with a band to kind of set some, maybe once or twice a month, a live jukebox here, as well as DJ dance nights and some upcoming workshops on breath work. The first of which is tonight. So if you're not doing anything at 6 o'clock tonight and you would like to try to calm the nervous system and let go of some of that stress and anxiety, bring your yoga mat, bring a blanket, come on down. That is being taught by Mickey, who has just recently moved to our community from Bend, Oregon. Um,
Great.
Additionally, one of our most successful experiment events, has been a drum and dance. It's the first and third Wednesday of every month. And it has been a really grounding and fun experience for so many. So just check out our calendar. Again, it's on the events for the hub.art. And it's or join us on Facebook and Instagram at the Hub PNW.
Great. Got a few more comments.
Oh, okay.
Steven said, I think your front outdoor open space would be great during the summer. Perhaps the city's revised code may bring or can provide the ability to bring food trucks in.
Yes. Um, very much so. We've had a few food vendors out there, but no food trucks yet because of all the regulations and special permitting that you have to come to. But I'm very hopeful with the relaxation of those requirements, we can actually host food trucks out there. We've
There you
got
go.
power and water.
John asks where to get pricing. Is that just going to be on your website?
It's just going to be on our website, but day passes are, we'll say for adults, $10. For monthly passes, it's a whopping $50, which really just translates. If you're going to be here 5 times in a month, you should just become a member.
Great.
We have people who come every day.
Brad,
Sorry for the noise.
oh, you're fine. Brad had one more comment. He said, Hi, Roxanne. Brad Griffith here. We met several times. I was Squim Community Makerspace for COVID. We talked wood bending and tool making. I'd love to do a show and tell. What's the best way to connect to set up a presentation?
Oh, Brad, we just need to get you on the calendar. So please follow up with me after this or come by the hub.
Great. And what's your email? What's the best contact?
My personal email at well, my work email is Roxanne, ROXANNE at the hub.art.
There it is. Oh, one
But you
more
can
from
always
Steven.
okay.
Uh, do you have a list of hub advisors with their backgrounds? Juan and Kyle are great.
Ooh, that is a great suggestion. Thank you for that. We will.
There you go. Collaboration. I love it.
Best.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I personally thank you for making our downtown PA more beautiful as you drive in. And I think a lot of people think the same thing. So keep up the good work. Thank you for joining us. And I hope the hub continues to excel.
And we will.
There you go.
Just you gotta stay activated. Come in and join us.
There you go. I'll be there.
All right.
All right. Thanks,
Have a great
everyone.
not sure.